Hello and welcome to the show. We start this week's FailRace episode with RockTuner on GTA 4, having just got into a truck. Now sometimes when you have a big heavy vehicle you bully the little cars around, although sometimes the little cars fight back. This taxi, taking upon itself after being pinged off a lamppost, flies through the air, explodes next to the truck, setting it on fire. Yep, they didn't get to play around with the truck for all that long. Right there. USSVagrant is up next on State of Decay 2. Yes, there are indeed vehicles in this one. They are trying to deal with some zombie. I don't know, I've not played this game personally. But they've got this Jeep, which they manage to sort of get the zombies away long enough to climb in. They then get rammed by a zombie. Jeep is beached. It then does get pushed off. You're thinking, great, now it's on fire. Less great at this point. And trying to get away, flips off of a barrier and rolls over. It is perhaps the worst getaway of all time, although Small Man is trying a similar tactic. This time, though, we're on Ghost Recon Breakpoint with some sort of like armoured personnel carrier style thing. Now, they are trying to take a shortcut to get down a mountain. Funny thing is, shortcuts are normally quite dangerous, especially when you're in something like this. It is, it is a shortcut. It's quite a quick way down a mountain. However, these things are not really designed, funnily, and well, nothing's really designed for that, let's face it, so off we go, rolling down a hill. Now, it would have been glorious had it managed to run over the enemy squad. It clips one of them, the others dive out of the way. I mean, you're just there doing a patrol, and suddenly an armoured vehicle comes rolling down the hill at you. I mean, not very fast down the hill at you, and it's still going. It's still going. It might be the... I'm guessing the most rolls for like an armoured vehicle in this, although we have had some tanks ping off. It's the most rolls in a vaguely plausible way for an armoured vehicle, and it eventually comes down to Earth. It was a shortcut down the mountain, I guess, is one way to look at it. Now they're getting shot at. So nearly squashed the entire squad. Principal Foe is up next on Need for Speed Hot Pursuit. For once, it's not the police car doing the derpy thing. Nope, it is the AI that's trying to get away, so to speak. Up ahead is a Lamborghini, and as we head off the motorway, Lamborghini gets things a little bit wrong, clonks a wall, and then the player is able to just pin it. Now, I don't know whether Lamborghini got oversteer or whether it understeer and pinged off the inside wall. However it did, it bounced across the road and got stuck. Regulus up next on San Francisco Rush is, I mean, I don't know much about this game. There's lots of crazy stunts to be going on, the car looping and twisting its way around. It is the luck, though, that is mighty impressive as they are trying to sort of pick a route through this course. They head up over this jump. Do not quite go fast enough as it just bounces off the edge, the car flipping and twisting its way through the air, and then manages to land perfectly on its wheels. I mean, it's mighty impressive. I don't know what on earth... They're in a tunnel at the moment, and I don't know what way is up and even what way is forward, and eventually the luck runs out and the car explodes. So, you know, not quite as good later on, but the amazing bounce and recovery was really quite something. Up next, we have got Turtleboy on Dirt 3. Now, they are playing a little bit of split screen on this game. The Mini goes over the jump, bounces around, is now followed by the Ford, who goes and punts his friend. However, rather than punting the car clear or breaking it or anything like that, instead, what's managed to happen is we've parked the Mini. We have a car hat. The Mini is balanced on the roof, was balanced on the roof of the Ford. It does sadly fall off, but still, nice going. Nice going. Blitz up next on Beam is trying to slowly navigate up a car park. It's not the most high-speed spectacular of fails we've seen on this, but it's got stuck. At not very many miles an hour, the 200BX is very wedged. Turns out that journey up a car park did not go particularly well to plan right there. TeamCZRRacing on Assetto Corsa next. Now, these are all AI cars that are on sort of like a street racing map, if you will. We have an Evo being chased by an NSX, and everything up until now going fairly normally. However, for some reason, the AI just forgets or don't know what on earth they're doing. Both cars smashing into the wall. The NSX going for a massive flip. I'm going to get something to do with their pathing is wrong through that section. And either way, it led to the NSX having a tremendous accident, and then a Tesla ended up going the wrong way around, ploughing into the stricken NSX. The Tesla did its own thing. ends up facing you somehow the wrong way is now going back into the tunnel for good measure, because why not? The Evo amazingly manages to not be involved in a second crash. The Tesla is determined to kind of stick to the wall as we run it down here until the one point where it should have stuck to the wall and instead goes straight into the divider. Yeah, I don't know. The AI are being weird. The TheFinninja up next on Assetto, Corsa, Competizione. They are racing around Spa. Had a look at trying to make an overtake stick into turn 1. Couldn't quite do it. I mean, it's a tough move trying to go around the outside of someone. So sure enough, they fall back in line. They're side by side with another car as well as we head down towards Eau Rouge, that car lifting. Unfortunately for them, though, as we come up through radial, the car head gets a big switches off the wall, and there is nothing that the player can do. I mean, it is a very Spa-like crash, to be honest. Yeah. Everything was going so well, and then everything was going so not well, and you just have so little time to be able to do it. I think the car ahead got a twitch on the curbs, and sure enough, the player is unfortunate. Amazingly lucky it was only them involved. I think the car had quite heavy broken steering at that point, and yeah, across it goes into another car. So having a separate accident. That section is always a very, very serious challenge. And finally, with Mateus on Assetto Corsa, with very weird things going on. So these are modded vehicles. I presume they're supposed to be like a Formula E style car. They kind of look like a bit more of an extreme Formula E car, and for whatever reason, they can't drive. I don't know which one is the player car. I think it might be the car on pole, but I'm not actually sure at this with this one. What I am sure of is nothing is able to really do much, and there's also fire. I don't quite know how there is fire going on from the back wheels. I mean, it looks kind of cool, and there's a lot of smoke. There's a lot of smoke going on. It's just the most absurd start to a race that I have ever seen. And I've been doing this for quite a while, and this is definitely up there. There's just cars going backwards. I'm going to presume, it's a mod vehicle, possibly a mod track. I can't say I recognise this circuit particularly. And there's obviously something to do with the way the traction of the tyres on this, or the road surface, something is not interacting the way that it should be at all. But it is hilarious. Everything, nothing can launch. I mean, this is on board one of the vehicles. Nothing can launch, nothing can move. Everything is just spinning the wheels continuously, then there is absolutely zero grip. I don't quite know where the fire comes from. I didn't think Assetto Corsa had fire, unless that is part of a mod sort of thing. I don't know. But yeah, some of them were catching fire. I mean, this one you could see it's like being on ice, but yeah. There's a car backwards in the smoke. The one we're riding on board with has to go and say hello. Yep, we will bump that one out of the way. And then there's not a gap over there. You can't go that way. There's more cars hidden in amongst the smoke. And the car that this is on board with is doing relatively well, actually, of avoiding much of the chaos. There's cars in the sand. Now we've just got a pendulum going on with this. Oh, and there's a car pointing backwards. And around we go. It is. I mean, it's spectacular as far as starts go. It is probably the worst start we've ever seen. But there we go. That is going to be it for this episode. As ever, if you have clips you would like to submit to this series, you can via a Google form. And we do very much need more clips to be keeping this series going. We've got sort of a couple of weeks worth at the moment. But yeah, the more the better, as ever. That, though, is going to be it from me. Thank you all very much for watching. And until next time, goodbye.